All right, FFA, what's up? Good morning, everybody. I hope you and your family had an amazing Christmas. I hope that you got all the presents that you wanted. I hope Santa Claus was good to you and to your family. And I can't believe it, but today is the last Friday call of 2024. Hard to believe that we are in the last few days of this year, jumping into the new year. I couldn't be more excited to run into 2025 together with you guys as we've been doing these coaching calls and setting goals with you. So many amazing goals set for this upcoming year that I know we're going to run hard for and we're going to achieve. And we've only got one more call before the year is over. And next Friday is going to mark our very first call of 2025. So hopefully you had an amazing Christmas break here. And I can't wait to see what we do running into next week as we kick off this new year. So big shout out to you guys for running hard. So many of you even put up AP. Some of you put up AP on Christmas Day, which is phenomenal. So super, super proud of you guys for being out there and closing this year out strong. We've only got a few days left to lock in that Cancun trip for you. And I know so many of you are running hard to lock that trip in. So hopefully those bagpipes for the Scotland incentive video kicking off 2025's incentive trip. That's a wake up call, right? That music is so funny. I don't know about you guys, but I'm so excited to run for that trip. I didn't know what Scotland had to offer until we started diving into it more and more and coming up with a cool place to go for this next year's trip. And there are so many awesome sights to see in Scotland. And we're going to be in the heart of it all. I think they said that within like 30 minutes to 45 minutes, you can see almost every castle in Scotland from where we're staying. So most of it's all within walking distance. So it's going to be such a cool trip and one that we want to run for together. So couldn't be more excited. It might be the best trip yet. I don't know. It's going to be hard to beat Greece. It was hard to beat the Dominican. We've got Cancun that hasn't even happened yet, but it's about to. So lots of cool things, lots of cool excitement going on for that trip. But I'm excited for it. All right. And so, guys, check it out. The plane ride isn't even that bad. It's like half the plane ride to Greece. So for those of you that traveled all the way to Greece, just cut that in half. All right, Scotland's going to be like a walk in the park for that airplane ride. But jumping into today's call, guys, 3 questions for you running into 2025. All right, 3 questions. I stole these from Tony Robbins. He had a YouTube video that he posted about 3 questions you should ask yourself all the time. And I thought each one of these questions was so prevalent to you being an agent and an agency builder that I had to share them with you. Okay. So, number 1 is, what are you focused on? Okay, guys, as we cool down the holiday season, right? As you're out there spending time with the family this weekend, think about, what are you focused on going into next year, going into 2025? All right. It's something in and of itself of what you're actually focused on. He said focus equals feeling. Okay. Focus equals feeling. Whatever you're focused on is what you're feeling. All right. And that's so true. If I'm focused on the news and I'm scrolling on my phone, instantly anxiety, right? Stress. All right. If you're focused on family, right? Peace, prosperity, that's usually what you feel. If you're focused on bills, all right, all that different things, right? What you're focused on is what you're going to feel. And I remember being a brand new agent out there in this field, and I was just focused on having fun and making a sale. And that process started coming and came in. It came easier and easier and easier as I was focused on being that top agent. The same could be true for you guys going into this next year. All right. If you're focused on agency growth, being that team, okay, running to have $1 million team next year in 2025, that's what you're going to start feeling. Okay. You're going to start feeling that sense of accomplishment as you guys run to that. If you're running towards financial freedom this upcoming year, each time you were able to tuck a deposit into that savings account or to pay off that card or that car or that payment, whatever it is, right? As you run towards financial freedom, if that's what you're focused on, that's what you're going to achieve. So focus and clarity going into this next year is so important. Have it mapped out, have it written out. What are you actually focused on going into this new year? His second question is, what is this going to mean? Okay. Whatever you're focused on is going to have a meaning behind it. What is it going to mean for you? All right, this upcoming year. So I think about when we first got started in this industry. Okay. The goal was to just be able to pay off credit card debt. Okay. It was supposed to be a side hustle. It was supposed to be something we were going to do part time. All right. And it transformed into what you see now with FFA and Freedom and Faith Agency. But when we first got started, what it meant for us was that we were going to be able to get our kids new shoes, new clothes. We were going to be able to not have to worry about overdrafting our bank account, all right, to buy diapers as young parents. We didn't have to worry about the furnace breaking, right? So all these different things, it had such a good, powerful meaning behind it. And that's what we thought about. So when we were out there in the field, when we were getting told no, when we were getting the door slammed in our face, none of that mattered. None of that impacted us because we were focused on an achievement, and we constantly reminded ourselves of what that was going to make us feel like when we achieved it. What was it going to make us feel like when we actually had money sitting in a savings account? What was it going to make us feel like when we actually could pay off that credit card payment, right? The wedding that we put on a credit card that we paid on forever in interest. What was it going to make us feel like when we could pay that thing off? All right. What was it going to make us feel like when we could eventually buy that dream house, right? Those dream cars, have the lifestyle that you envision for yourself. So think about that going into this next year. Don't think about the negative. Don't be focused on how hard it's going to be. Don't be focused on the ups and downs or the roadblocks that might come up, right? Be focused on what do you want to achieve, and then how is that going to make you feel? Because that's going to keep you grounded, right? It's going to keep you locked in for 2025 to hit that goal for this upcoming year. So think about it. What do you want to achieve, and how is it going to make you feel once you achieve it? Think about this past year. As you guys were running towards new heights in 2024, what was that you were focused on? And for those of you that have achieved it, which so many of you have, how does it make you feel now ending this year? Guys, I don't know about you, but 2023 and 2024 was one of the uh, hardest fighting 2 years, all right, for us as a company, right? We battled a lot of things, a lot of growing pains, right? Good things. But we had a lot that we had to overcome, right? We had a lot of things we had to figure out, things we had to map out, things we had to change, things we had to make better. We had a lot of growth that we needed to be able to manage and grow with and figure all these things out, right? But I'm a big believer that if God put it in your heart, right, that's the Holy Spirit telling you, this is the path I want you to take. This is the path I want you to go down. All right. Because in some way, shape, or form, it's going to give him honor in what you're doing. Right. And so if we could just set our own ego aside and look at what's right in front of us and what is it that he wants us to do for this year, if we're focused on achieving his will, all right, what's that going to make you feel like in return when you fulfill it? Right. One of my biggest dreams, one of my biggest goals was that through this company, we could bring people closer to Christ. Right now, I'm not a preacher or nothing like that, but I thought about how cool would it be to be able to dedicate our company, our mission, what we do for work every day back to him. Right. Because before, it was like, you go to church on Sunday, you'd go Monday through Saturday, right? Work, and then back into it was all separate. What if we could create a home, create a family, create a company that it was all centered around him first, right? And it spread it out from there. And I thought about how cool would it be if somebody did not know Christ, and through this company, through us, we were able to bring them to know him. And we did an event this past year, and this was 3.5 years in the making, right? Since we started this company, we did an event, and throughout the whole, for the beginning of this company launch to now, we constantly had that mission in the back of our mind of bringing people closer to him. Well, I actually got to see it in an event that we did. At this event, one of the speakers, uh, basically said, if you're ready to accept Christ as your savior, stand up. And we actually had an agent stand up in that event. And when I saw that, I thought about like how powerful this movement is of what we're actually doing, right? It's not just about selling insurance and hitting goals, right? It's actually a much deeper meaning. And when I saw that agent stand up, I thought about how cool is it that God used this company, this platform, used us to bring that person to him. And then I thought about that was the first time I've actually seen all the work pay off and seen an actual example of what we're doing, like lead somebody to him. And I thought about, wow, that's just the beginning, right? Eventually, we're going to be able to bring thousands of people closer to him through this opportunity and through this career choice. And how cool is that going to be? So I share all of that because what is it going to mean for you, right? What do you focus on? What do you want to achieve? How is it going to make you feel? Okay. What does it mean for you going towards your goals in 2025? For me, when I saw that agent stand up, it meant the world to me, right? It meant the world that somebody actually got closer on their walk through what we do. All right. And when I seen that, I felt like a new sense of purpose, where we could just take it to an even higher level, right? Give back to more people, bring more people closer to him. So as you guys ask yourself these questions, right? What do you focus on? And then what is it going to mean for you? What does it mean for you and for your family to run towards financial freedom this year? Okay. What does that mean for you? What does it mean for your kids, kids, right? For your great grandkids? Ed Mylett always talks about being the one, right? The one that changes your family lineage. All right. And this is a chance. You have the chance to be the one going into 2025. All right. And so the last question he asked is, how are you going to feel, right? How are you going to feel from the first two? So focus. All right. What is it going to mean for you? And then how does that make you feel? All right, guys, everything that we do makes us feel a specific type of way. He went in to talk about how our body naturally wants to suppress our feeling, right? So we don't feel anything. Our body doesn't want us to be too high, doesn't want us to be too low. So as we run towards all these goals, we kind of suppress ourselves. But I would encourage you to take that cap off. All right, going into this next year, there is no cap to what you can accomplish here in this career opportunity. There's no cap whatsoever. You can make as much as you want to make. There's never a cap to it. You can produce as much as you want to produce. It's all dependent upon you and your goal. All right. And so having an uncapped opportunity, think about how does that make you feel, right? How is it going to make you feel at the end of this next 12 months when you look back, all right, and you think, wow, I was able to build that dream house like I wanted to build, right? I know so many of you have a goal of becoming a first-time home buyer. We have a lot of young people in the company, a lot of young families, little kids, families getting started, people just getting married. A lot of you have a goal, right, of buying that first house. Okay, getting out of that apartment, buying that first house, building that first house. How's that going to make you feel when you see those walls go up, when you see that roof goes up, right? So many of you have a goal of being able to get you a new car, right? A lot of you guys are out there driving around like I was in a little beater, all right, making it, trying to, jump start it in the morning because it ain't kicking off. So many of you have a goal this year to get out of that and to get into your dream car. How's that going to make you feel when you get behind that wheel and you drive that thing? All right, think about these things, guys. As you go into next year, all right, as you go into this weekend, what are you going to focus on? What does it mean for you and for your family? And then how is it going to make you feel? So just a quick call for you guys this Friday. I know it's the holiday season. So many of you are traveling. I hope you guys have a safe trip if you're traveling to family and whatnot. But check it out. We're going into next year, and it is time to open up the floodgates and to just be ready to run to a new height in 2025, and I can't wait to see it. So I appreciate you guys for tuning in today. Think about those 3 questions. What are you going to focus on? What's it going to mean for you? How is it going to make you feel going into 2025? I can't wait for next week. Okay. Stay tuned for the calls that we have coming up, because we're going to be bringing on a lot of agents, just doing Q&A and interviews and a lot of good stuff going into next year. So be ready for that. Let's go out there and have a great day today and have an amazing weekend. I appreciate you guys for jumping in here. And hey, Merry Christmas to you. I hope you and your family have an amazing weekend.